Imagine a family Thanksgiving dinner. Now picture half the table declaring war on the other half. That's what a US invasion of Canada would feel like. Millions of families have roots on both sides of the border. They share bloodlines, memories, and backyards. Could Americans stomach bombing Toronto, a city that feels like an extension of Buffalo? Could Canadians fathom fighting street battles in Vancouver, a city so close to Seattle? An invasion wouldn't be a war against a foreign entity, it would be a war against family. Public support, the lifeblood of any conflict, would wither and die. Canada is huge. It's the second largest country on Earth. Invading it would be like trying to conquer a polar bear with a fly swatter. Forget tanks and troops. Think blizzards, frozen wastelands, and dense forests. Canada's terrain is a logistical nightmare, even for its own military. Imagine supplying troops scattered across thousands of miles of wilderness. Picture tanks getting bogged down in muskeg, or troops battling frostbite in the Yukon. The US military might have firepower, but against Canada's geography, it would be outmatched. Canada is like that friend everyone loves. It's friendly, dependable, and always up for a game of hockey. It's also a key member of NATO and has strong ties across the globe. An attack on Canada wouldn't be seen as an isolated incident. It would trigger a global response. NATO allies, bound by their treaty obligations, would be forced to act. Economic sanctions would cripple the US, diplomatic relations would shatter. The US would find itself isolated on the world stage. Think about securing a house. Now multiply that by millions. That's the scale of the logistical challenge in invading Canada. It's not just about capturing territory. It's about holding it, controlling the population, and securing vital infrastructure. Imagine trying to patrol the US-Canada border, the longest undefended border in the world. Think about securing major cities like Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, each with millions of people. The US military might be powerful, but the sheer scale of the task would be overwhelming. The Canadian spirit: resilience and resistance. Canadians are known for their politeness, but don't mistake that for weakness. Underneath that friendly exterior lies a steely resolve. Canadians are descendants of pioneers, explorers, and survivors. They know how to handle themselves in tough situations. An invasion wouldn't be met with surrender. It would be met with fierce resistance. From urban warfare in Toronto to guerrilla tactics in the Rocky Mountains, Canadians would make the invaders pay for every inch of ground. The economic fallout, a lose-lose situation for both nations. The United States and Canada are like roommates. They share a continent, resources, and a deep economic bond. An invasion wouldn't just be a military disaster. It would be an economic apocalypse for both nations. Trade would grind to a halt. Supply chains would collapse. The stock market would crash harder than a moose on roller skates. The cost of the war, coupled with the economic devastation, would cripple both sides. In this scenario, there would be no winners, only losers. The global backlash: international condemnation and consequences. Invading a peaceful neighbor isn't a good look. It's like punching a kitten in the face. Cruel, unnecessary, and just plain wrong. The international community wouldn't stand idly by. The United States would face swift and severe consequences. The United Nations would condemn the invasion. Countries would impose sanctions. The United States would become a pariah state. Invading Canada wouldn't just be a strategic blunder. It would be a moral stain on the nation's conscience. The unforeseen consequences, unexpected repercussions. War is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. But one thing's for sure, it's usually messy and rarely goes according to plan. An invasion of Canada could unleash a cascade of unintended consequences. Cyber attacks, terrorism, and global instability could become the new normal. The conflict could escalate beyond control, drawing in other nations and sparking a wider war. The world as we know it could be changed forever. The moral of the story: some lines should never be crossed. The idea of the United States invading Canada is absurd. It's like imagining your goofy uncle challenging Mike Tyson to a boxing match. It's a fight the United States could never win, both morally and strategically. Some lines, like the one separating the United States and Canada, are better left uncrossed. Instead of planning invasions, maybe it's time to build bridges, strengthen ties, and remember that we're all in this together. After all, wouldn't you rather share a beer and a hockey game with your neighbor than a battlefield?